In today's video, we're going to talk about how introverted intuition naturally likes to see things and pattern things. Today's video and conversation are supplementary to this video right here, where Z and I talked about the basics of how NI works. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should probably start with that one first. In that video, some sides of introverted intuition that we talked about were how NI really likes to speculate and make guesses off of what it's seeing in the moment, creatively imagine and visualize, build images in the mind, run mental simulations to explore implications and potential, and then lastly, liking to extrapolate and narrow down on realistic possibilities. Today's soundbites are snippets from a conversation we had with Josh, an INFJ with quite a following on social media. Hope you guys have fun hearing about introverted intuition from his perspective.
How much time do you need to figure out a person, do you think?
Way less than people feel comfortable with.
Yeah?
I mean, sometimes it's just in the posture. I'm an extremely sensory person, so I'm absorbing like all of the senses at the same time, kind of a thing. I'm very like in the empathetic direction, so I try to feel somebody out. Like I'll see somebody's posture and how they react to a phrase, and that will tell me a ton. I'll see somebody's wording and how they, you know, they phrase something. It's not the logical words that they're saying, but like the implication behind the phrasing that makes me go, oh, okay, they have this mental hang up here. They have, you know, deflective humor here, you know, like, I see that, you know, like
Right.
those sorts of things are the tells for me to make sense of a person. The extrapolation thing is how I make decisions, because I'm like, oh, this could mean all of these different things. Okay, therefore I will choose this path. I do love action, but it's like action informed by that. Do you remember Roller Coaster Tycoon? I was the kid that would get on Roller Coaster Tycoon and I would set the time element to as fast as it would go, because I wanted to think like, okay, well, if I just like set this thing up and I make an extra $5 every year, and then I just run this for 10 centuries, I can make an amazing park. I love that. There are upsides and downsides. Upside is I got the insight and like I can choose good paths. The downside is I'm too patient, because I can see the possibilities. They give me hope, and I'm like, well, cool. Like we'll just wait until we get to this string here, because I map it out. Because I see all of these things, I'm like, well, it could go this way. It could this. I'm weighing it all the time. And this is another, along with the too patient, I have to work really hard to become decisive. This is a thing I'm working on day in and day out, is to like solidify my decisiveness, because I'm prone to indecision. So I have these insights, I have the, you know, I can see the way, if you will, right? But I will then have trouble with execution and making progress, because I'll go like, well, I see this way, but I also see 20 other ways. And you know, you can't be in your doing when you're that way. I've developed that extrapolation insight stuff quite a bit, to the point that now I kind of need to be like, hey, you've done enough, like go live, go do. I can sit in my cave and I don't know, write songs for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I need that to be able to do it. I need the isolation. But then there's a certain point where it runs out, and I'll think, you know, oh my god, this is the last song I'll ever write. I have no talent. There's nothing inside of me. And then I'll like go out for one night and just like people watch at 2 a.m. and then walk home and like have, you know, 100 more ideas. So like,
Right.
But from what you said, it sounds like you can get inspiration just from looking at things.
Absolutely. It's likely if you pointed to anything in the background of this Zoom call or in your background, I could create a idea around it that eventually turned into a book topic that turned into a potential career. Like I could probably do that.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just keep
That's
going.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
like I used to do this in bars with songs. Point at something, I'll come up with a lyric for it, and like they'd point at a lamp, and I'd be like, well, yeah, it's like,
Is
light a
it
day.
so like, is that because some people talk about that's very energizing for them and they can almost do it all day, and like someone was like, I can explore the gardens of my mind or something, you know, something like sort of like they just can go and go and go. Is that something that you feel like, that type of creativity, I guess, that type of imagination, is that something that's really fun for you?
It is fun for me. There's ways to do it that drain, and ways to do it than fill, I think. You know,
I guess in comparison to other people.
yeah, oh yeah, I can do it so like Yeah, that's where it really becomes clear. Is just like, you know, like I'm 50 miles down the marathon, and I'm like starting to feel, you know, a little bit of need to breathe harder. And I look back, I'm like, this was easy. So yeah, you're right.
How often are you vetting what you're kind of building inside your head? Like you meet a person, you're building this idea, you have you're anticipating something that's going to go this way. How often do you actually go out and check in with people or that person or the group that this is actually true?
I will for sure like have an intuition about like, you know, the friend's wife, and then ask, so how's your sister? So that he has a chance to be like, well, that's fine, but like so that we can get there. Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, that is what I thought. Yeah. And then like take the conversation from over there. Does that what you mean?
Yeah. So it's more like for you, there's like more of a sense of knowing already. Like, so I just know I need to collect more information about them, and the more experience I have with them, the more I figure out their history, their personal details, the more I'm gonna actually know about them. Or is it more like the spidey sense?
My personal beliefs are making me caution against the spidey sense, but that's probably the one that it is.
Right.
The voice in my head tells me to get more data, but yeah, generally I'm pretty spidey about it.
Right. So it seems like if you're getting a lot of ideas, it's great for you, but what you're really trying to move towards is kind of narrowing it down to,
oh, interesting. Yes. Yeah.
Rather than expanding more to,
because I know that what I have is useless. Like I know that the big ball of mush that is all of my ideas, it's not helpful. Like it's just everything, right? It's chaos.
Right. And so narrowing it down rather than,
yeah, like I joke that I'm the guy, like in the 100-person tribe, I'm the guy that like sits in the tent and like does this for a while, and then like 2 months later like walks out of the tent and taps his extrovert friend on the shoulder and is be like, hey, like if we took that gourd there and we put it under that tent when it rains, like we might not starve to death. And then he yells at all of his other extrovert friends and be like, guys, that's a great, hey, Josh had a great idea. Let's go put that gourd.
What I'm saying though, like where someone new pops in and it totally does not fit. Do you ever have any examples of times when you've had an idea of where you want things to go, but it doesn't, something new comes in that doesn't fit?
Okay, I'm having trouble with this question, and it's probably because it's such a strong yes that I almost didn't even get to the question when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I was so set on doing what I was trying to do that I didn't even see other good opportunities. Which is interesting saying it that way. I guess probably like I'd let my extrapolation abilities go, and that was probably a part of like what was not working for me, was I wasn't tapping into those. Like I wanted to be a rock star. And I was so into that idea, I couldn't, like, I probably had good opportunities coming my way. I don't even remember seeing them. So like, yes, but like I don't even remember somebody walking up to me and saying, here's this opportunity, and me refusing it. Like, because I don't even remember seeing the opportunity, which means probably that's a hard yes. Like probably that it was happening all the time and I was just saying no.
Self-selecting away from those things.
Yeah. And this is something I'm still trying to make sense of. I don't fully understand, because like I'm trying to make the vision of what I'm doing now come true. And I guess, yeah, something that's outside of my scope of vision that I've created for myself, when somebody else new introduces it and it's a super intelligent thing, I'll have trouble seeing it.
If you guys enjoyed today's video and wanted to hear the full in-depth conversation where he talks about all different sides of his personality, you guys can find the video on my website, linked down below in the description. Also, if you guys are interested in checking out Josh's content on Instagram or TikTok, you can find them at Josh Terry Plays. Would definitely recommend. You are the change maker of your own life. Let's think more deeply. See you guys in the next ones. Peace. Bye.